Whether you like it or don't like it, sit down and look at it because it's the best going today. Woo!
G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. This is the official breakdown and prediction video for Dillian Whyte versus Lucas Browne going down this Saturday. HBO has actually picked up this fight in the United States, so I'm real excited about that. And I have a lot of subscribers / my boxing family on the channel that are not from the United States. So I feel like it's important for me to explain to you guys the temperature of this fight in the States. It's cold. It's cold. Nobody's talking about this fight in the States. Nobody's talking about Dillian Whyte. Nobody's talking about Lucas Browne. This fight is really not getting the attention that I feel like it should be getting, because I think it is a very good domestic level fight. And on top of that, these are two top 10 to 15 heavyweights. Both of them are in the top 15, definitely, in my opinion. And I feel like this fight should definitely be getting more attention, period. You got people on YouTube that are saying this is a bum fight. Dillian Whyte is 22-1. His only loss is to Anthony Joshua, the heavyweight champion of the world. He's not a bum. Lucas Browne, 25-0, 22 knockouts. I don't care what your resume looks like. You build up that type of resume, you've earned yourself the right for us to see whether you're real or not in a legitimate fight. Lucas Browne is not a bum. Okay? So other people may say this is a bum fight, but over here on G5 Jeff TV, I cover it all. American fights, American fighters, overseas fights, fights over the pond, you name it, I'm covering it. If it's boxing, I'm covering it. Point blank. Now, I'm putting my prediction video record on the line. I'm officially 9-1 with one draw in prediction videos, and I'm going to definitely try to keep the ball rolling with this fight. Now, I'm going to start off with Lucas Browne. Now, if anybody knows G5 Jeff TV, I like to throw the lab coat on. I like to go in the lab. I like to break down film, come up with a few ideas, couple of scenarios, and then I make my prediction. And as you can see from the record, 9 times out of 10, I get it right. So I'm the guy to come listen to. Now, I did 80% of my lab work specifically on Lucas Browne because I haven't seen as many fights of Lucas Browne as I had with Dillian Whyte. Now, Lucas Browne, he doesn't have that many notable names on his record, but the main one that I really paid attention to was the Ruslan Chikaev fight. Now, I know you're probably thinking like, oh, well, Ruslan is a southpaw. Why are you watching a fight with Lucas Browne and a southpaw when Dillian Whyte is a conventional fighter? When you're trying to familiarize yourself with a fighter, you really just want to see the skill set. You want to see the skill set. You want to see what they can and can't do in the ring. It doesn't matter if they're in the ring with a conventional fighter or a southpaw. You're trying to familiarize yourself with that fighter. So that's what I did with Lucas Browne. Now, he got Ruslan Chikaev out of there in the 10th round of a 12-round fight. And that fight was in 2016, so that was soon enough for me. But there was a couple of things in that fight that I noticed, and I was just, it kind of troubled me a little bit. Number one, I'm expecting to see certain things out of a guy that's 25-0 with 22 knockouts. I'm expecting for something to jump off the screen. Some type of skill set that's going to jump off the page. Didn't see it. Didn't see it. There's nothing about Lucas Browne game that is exceptional or even good for that matter. A lot of what he does is average. His skill set is average. His skill set is average. And there was a couple of things specifically about that Ruslan Chikaev fight that kind of had me scratching my head a little bit. And it made me do more research. Number one, throws his jab. Right hand is down. Right hand is down. Consistently down. And heavyweights are more inclined to get away with that because they're so big. A lot of times they're at a distance. So it's hard for the other guy to actually catch them, with their hand down when they're jabbing. Like, you rarely see pull counters and things like that with heavyweights. But that's one thing that I noticed that kind of troubled me. Throws a jab, right hand is down. And secondly, he has the weirdest looking hooks I ever seen in my life. Don't get me wrong, he's knocking guys out with these hooks. But the hooks look wide, but he's stiff, so it looks funny. Oh man, it's some of the weirdest shit I've ever seen. Like, he has some weird looking hooks. But the weird thing is it works for him because they're not coming from the traditional angle. They're not coming from the traditional trajectory. And those flaws made me actually look back at other fights to see if that's just him fighting a southpaw or if that's him. I looked at a couple other fights. No, that's him. When he throws his jab, that right hand is down. And there was a couple other fights where them hooks just look real stiff and real funny. But he was just touching guys and knocking them out. But there are some things with Lucas Browne that I feel like is going to benefit him in this fight against Dillian Whyte. Number one, he's real cerebral in the ring. Kind of laid back. And that's going to be to his benefit against Dillian Whyte. Number two, I think his skill set is average, but you do see him trying to think his way through the fight. You do see that. You can see that with Lucas Browne. So I do like that about Lucas Browne. And another thing is he doesn't shy away from being in the pocket. Like, he doesn't mind moving his feet and moving around, but he doesn't mind being in the pocket either. And I like that about Lucas Browne. So if I had to give a scale of 1 to 10 on my feelings towards Lucas Browne after watching tape, I would say it's probably like maybe about a 6. I'd say it's about a 6. Like, it was average, but there's enough intrigue there for me to be like, okay, well, I'm actually interested to see what he does against a legitimate guy. And here we go. He's fighting Dillian Whyte. Dillian Whyte only loss is to Anthony Joshua. He went in that fight, fought hard, just didn't have enough. He beat Robert Helenius, beat David Allen. But the fight that I pay attention to the most is the Derek Chisora fight. First of all, that was a great fight. I absolutely love that fight. But Dillian Whyte is the more skilled fighter. He made that fight way more difficult than what that fight had to be. Way more difficult. He could have sat and outboxed Derek Chisora all night long. But they was talking trash before the fight, and it spilled over into the ring, and it turned into a classic slugfest for 12 rounds, which is impressive because you rarely see two heavyweights banging it out like that over the course of 12 rounds. And I'm not going to lie, Dillian Whyte was lucky to get a split decision. Some people had Derek Chisora winning that fight, and if you had him winning that fight, I'm not mad at you. Dillian Whyte is the more skilled fighter over Lucas Browne. Skill-wise, technically, he's the more talented fighter. If Dillian Whyte can be disciplined for a full 12 rounds in a fight, that'd be a beautiful thing. But Dillian Whyte does the one thing that is dangerous when it comes to fighters. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. He wears his emotions on his sleeve. And with you knowing that about Dillian Whyte, you pretty much know that when you watch Dillian Whyte, is going to turn into an exciting fight because his emotions is going to get the better of him, and he's going to turn it into a dog fight. Much more pleasing for the fans, but makes it more difficult for himself. And I actually started breaking down this fight, and I was like, I didn't know if I was going to do a prediction video because I was like, I had my decision already. But actually sitting down and breaking down these two, I'm going to tell you why this is an interesting fight and this wasn't an easy decision for me. Because of Dillian Whyte and him wearing his emotions on his sleeve, he's going to give Lucas Browne opportunities. He's going to give Lucas Browne opportunities, and Lucas Browne likes to think his way through fights. You can see it. So he's going to give Lucas Browne plenty of opportunities for counter shots and shots in the pocket. And that's a dangerous game you playing when you got two heavyweights fighting in the pocket. Second thing, whenever you're the more talented fighter, you kind of fight to the level of your competition. So I don't know how much respect Dillian Whyte actually has for Lucas Browne. So I'm hoping he doesn't go into this fight thinking he's just going to, just wipe Lucas Browne out. Because even though I think Lucas Browne is a basic fighter, those attributes outside of boxing, skill, the fact that I feel like he's cerebral and he thinks his way through fights and he doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeve, it adds a different dynamic to this fight. I think this is going to be a good fight. I think this fight is going to raise a couple of eyebrows in the States, because this is really the only good fight that's really going down this weekend. And this is the prediction. G5 Jeff TV predicts that Dillian Whyte is going to stop Lucas Browne in round 8 of this fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think Lucas Browne is going to have Dillian Whyte in trouble at some point during this fight. But I do think that the superior skill level of Dillian Whyte over Lucas Browne is going to reign true. And he's going to end up getting this stoppage in this fight. Now, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. It's G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. Appreciate y'all. Peace.